Today we're going to work on decimals. This should be a review from 5th grade. A decimal is based on tens, and the reason we base it on tens is because after the decimal place, there is no ones place value. A decimal number refers to a number that uses a decimal point. For example, 1.7 is read as 1 and 7/10. Whenever you see the decimal, we say and. 1 and 7/10. This is 7/10 because there is no ones place value behind the decimal. We're going to look at adding and subtracting decimals. When working with decimal numbers, it's very important to keep your work neat. How we do this is by lining up our decimal points. We're going to put zeros as placeholders so the numbers have the same length. Then we add and subtract just like we have been doing for a long time now. So looking at some examples. The first number is read as 1 and 452 thousandths plus 1 and 3/10. I've lined up my decimal points, but I still have two placeholders that I need to fill in, so I'm going to do that with zeros. Now both numbers are the same length, so we're just going to add them like we have been doing. 2 plus 0 is 2. 5 plus 0 is 5. 4 plus 3 is 7. Now I'm going to bring down my decimal places just like they are. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So this answer reads 2 and 752 thousandths. If you look at our next example, we have 3 and 25 hundredths plus 5. As you see, 5 has no decimal in the number. So in order to make them the same, I'm going to add a decimal and 2 zeros so that both numbers have a decimal and they have the same amount of numbers. They're the same length now. 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 plus 0 is 2. We're going to bring down our decimals right where they are. And 3 plus 5 is 8. So this answer reads 8 and 25 hundredths. And now we're going to look at some subtraction examples. The first number is 1 and 1/10. Subtract 3 hundredths. I have my numbers lined up. The decimals are in the same place, but I'm going to add a 0 so that they're the same length. 0 subtract 3 we know we cannot do, so we're going to borrow. Makes that a 0, and we're going to turn this into a 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. 0 subtract 0 is 0. We're going to bring our decimal points down right where they are. And 1 subtract 0 is 1. So this answer reads 1 and 7 hundredths. If you look at our next example, this is 7 and 5 thousandths minus 55 hundredths. So as you see, I've lined up my decimal points, and I'm going to add a 0 for my place holder. 5 subtract 0 is 5. 0 subtract 5 we cannot do. We're going to come all the way over here to the 7, make that a 6. This will become a 9. This will be a 10. 10 subtract 5 is 5. 9 subtract 5 is 4. Bring your decimal places down exactly where they are. And 6 subtract 0 is 6. So this answer will read 6 and 455